how wicked can you people be? Won't you allow this man to go and rest? Why are you fighting age? Why are you fighting fate? Because you want to gain access into the national team, you are allowing a man, you are pushing a man. Why didn't Tinubu go and campaign to the delegates in the southeast? The man was tired. After 2 weeks, he was already out of the country to go and rest. That is the man you want to put the trouble in Nigeria on his head in 2023. God will not let it happen. And for everyone who wants to come out, I am hearing that they are blocking Igbos, blocking other tribes from registering in what do you call it, in Lagos and some other people. Oga, if we don't want Nigeria to have peace, we will make sure that you do not have peace. We have done enough of Jonathan's kind of politics of being quiet and allowing demonic and satanic people to lead the narrative. Look at Nigeria today. We are buying $1 for 610 naira. 610 naira. There is no light. Throughout the day, I ran generator in my office from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6:30 when I closed. I ran generator. Mindset, I ran on generator. The same thing yesterday, the same thing day before yesterday. I will send you my office address. Go and confirm from anybody that lives in that neighborhood or that works in that neighborhood. I'm running a generator this night as I'm talking to you. I can walk to my generator for you to hear the sound. This is the country. This is the country. This is how far they have led us. This is how evil these guys are. There is a minister that earns salary as minister of power. Where is the power that Nigerians are supposed to enjoy? No improvement. Not only is there no improvement, these guys have taken us back to the ages where I had to step out to iron my singlet by 2 a.m. yesterday. 2 a.m. in the morning when I saw light. And you are telling me that we should move from this kind of a disaster of a president to another one who cannot even flip. It took Tinubu 16 seconds to flip one page. 16 seconds. 16 seconds. That was what it took this man to flip one page. How long will it take that man to flip Nigeria from this mess into prosperity? I am daring anybody and I'm challenging anybody in Tinubu's camp. Meet me on TV. Let us meet on live TV. Let the world judge us. I will bring evidence upon evidence upon evidence why Tinubu should be in his home, resting with his grandchildren. I don't care. I know you have a deadly media mob, but we are going to match you. Madness for madness. Craze for craze. Whatever they want this time around, we will give them. Nigeria will not go back to these guys. At whatever cost, Nigeria will not go back to them. And if anybody from INEC is listening, we are bringing it to your doorstep. You will register every Nigerian that wants to vote. You will register them. If you don't want to have election in 2023, cancel it. But we will not allow you to toy with the destiny of this nation.
Okay.
It's fine. You can go ahead, please.
Okay. Because of time, I gave you 10 minutes. Well, thank you very much. I do have a lot of questions coming in for you. And you talked about Tinubu's health. Before, hence I was saying I'm not happy with you because quite a number of people have spoken about his health. People made accusation, if you will, that he's suffering from Parkinson, but we cannot. We are not sure of this thing because we do not have any medical record to confirm that he's suffering from this. Harry,
I beg you in the name of God. Harry, these 10 minutes to be on this space.
Harry,
we cannot play politics with the future of Nigeria.
No, Harry,
what we are doing on TV is not right. No. Tinubu should give us his medical report.
Okay, Harry, please. I like to balance these conversations, right? And yes, it's very important that we ask Tinubu to give us his medical reports, right? These are the things Nigerians should be asking for. Now, we do not have that medical report, all right? He might be suffering from an ailment that we don't know what it is. As I said earlier on, quite a number of people might say that he might be suffering from Parkinson. We saw him on TV. Yes, obviously his hands were shaking. But whatever environment he's suffering from, we don't know what that is. We don't know what that is. That's what my point. Okay, so I'm not here to sound political correct or anything. I'm trying to balance the conversation because it's very important that we say things and then one can verify and say, actually, this man have headache. The doctor have confirmed that he have headache. We are not disputing that his hands were not shaking. All right. Now, Terry made me lost my train of thought right now. I have a question coming for you on the DM. Now, you talked about continuing with Buhari's candidacy, that Nigerians should not allow it. But unfortunately, unfortunately for the APC, they chose this man. Okay, they believe that he's the best thing for them. Now, we are not member of the APC. How? I'm going to ask you a question. I know you're not a member of the APC, but if you have a choice, based on the people that APC presented on Tuesday, if you have a choice to be one of the delegates, who would you have gone for and why?
There is an Ogbonaya Ono. APC might be a bad party, but it is not peopled by 100% evil men. We will come out and tell you that instead of addressing recession, instead of addressing hyperinflation, instead of addressing insecurity, instead of addressing youth unemployment, their only campaign slogan is, "It is my turn. It is my turn." I fought against Wike in PDP. I fought against Wike to the extent that his own party governors had to start calling me that I should please take it easy with him. Do you understand? Nothing. I had nothing against Wike, but for a man to come out and say, "Give me power, give me power, give me power." Oga, we have suffered Buhari. Our eyes don't open. Allow me to speak in pidgin, sorry. Our eyes don't open. There is not going to be anybody intimidating anybody anymore. See, they don't have the numbers. And that is what I'm going to prove to INEC next week. They don't have the numbers. You want to stop people from registering? Bring your numbers. Let us bring our own numbers. Let Nigerians in their millions who are tired of the mess that this country is come out in their numbers. Let us test people's popularity on the street. Okay? If I were a delegate in APC, there is an Emeka Nwajuba. There is an Ogbonaya Onu mindset. Please, Google these names. Google them. You will never hear them making reckless statements. You will never hear them going to Ondo after Fulani X-Men killed Afenifere leader's daughter. You will never hear them going to say, "Where are the cows?" No! These were men who respected the sanctity of life, or who still respect the sanctity. These are decent men. These are decent human beings. I deliberately chose those two names because I do not want to muddy up like every other person. Why would any party, if APC had any modicum of respect for Nigerian sensibilities, how would you leave every other contestant and choose a man that cannot stand for 20 minutes? 20 minutes. Mindset, tomorrow morning, I'm going to start a different campaign against Tinubu. All the videos where he has been falling down, all the videos where he has been making statements like a little baby whose brain is gone, I will start posting them. I don't care if you say I'm playing politics with his health. Go and look at what Buhari has done to us. Tinubu is contesting to be the president of my country. I have a right to be sure that he is mentally alert, that he is physically fit. Don't blackmail anybody. Don't gaslight anybody. I will discuss his health. And by God's special grace, I will find out which hospital Tinubu attends in the UK. By God's grace, we will get his medical report. You want to lead Nigeria, please make sure that you are ready for whatever comes at you in trying to lead Nigeria.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Henry. Now, we are not trying to blackmail anybody, and we are not trying to. Okay, my point is this: I would like to be quoted, because Tinubu might not be helped.
I wasn't talking to you.
I know. You can't talk about, because if you do that, I'll fine you. So that's not a problem. You talk about your generator, we'll take your generator tonight. Mosquito will bite you. So you must well calm down with us. But one of the reasons we have this platform here is that we try to discuss what concerns Nigeria and how to move our country forward. we like the passion in the way you speak, and you want a better Nigeria, and that's what everybody wants. And if it means that Nigerians will start asking questions, both to INEC and both to Tinubu. Tinubu is not even the president now. If Nigerians really want his medical record, we need to ask those questions. It's very important. Nobody can stop us asking that questions. That Tinubu, we need your medical record to make sure. I mean, when the time comes, I think when the campaign comes, possibly the journalists will ask those questions. And another thing is, we will try as much as we can to bring them on spaces, right? I don't know if they will come, but to bring them there, Nigerians will ask questions. But thank you very much, Mr. Henry. We have a lot of questions coming for you. I don't know how long we're going to stay here. We have about 7 questions for you. On that note, Zainab, you're raising your hand, but please bear with me, Roy. Let me quickly allow Dr. Salusi. You have a question for Henry. Then I will come back to you. Or should I go with president? Because we have the president of 2034 here. Doctor, do you mind if I go with president first?
That's fine. And I don't have a question for Harry. I don't have any question for him.
Okay, that's right. So, is it President Yusuf? Yusuf, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good evening. Pleased to have you on the program. I'm really, really sorry we struggled to bring you up, but we are here.
No problem, sir. No problem.
Okay. Thank you. So, what is your take on Tinubu's candidacy? Please, you have 5 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
All right. I think we've been looking at things from the very wrong direction. I've been in this space for a while, and I've been on Clubhouse, and I've heard so much argument back and forth, why Tinubu this, that, and whatnot. We keep on hearing the whole conversation of Tinubu was the best governor Nigeria ever had. Lagos State was transformed into this and that and that and that. And that. Agreed. Assuming Lagos can stand with Dubai, assuming Lagos can stand with London or New York or whatever mega city you can find in the world today, he stepped down and he was out of office from 2007. 2007 to 2023 is going to be 16 years. My younger sister, who was born in 2007, is about entering SS3. That is about 16 years, obviously. The person who has moved on for 16 years, and you think they have the same intellectual capability and the same capacity they had before, the same tenacity and the rigor they had before 16 years ago. I think nobody would ever imagine that somebody will still have those qualities intact. It's not possible. It's natural. People are growing old, and by the special grace of God, if we don't die, we will all get old. And it's not a crime to be old, but as Henry just mentioned, rightly, we are all students of history, but the nearest history, we're seeing what is happening with Buhari, and nobody's really putting that into cognizance. I think it's not fair for Nigerians to continue on that route, because being old is not an issue, but being frail is an issue, because as he had mentioned, there are thousands of videos that you can bring up to suggest that this person is not feeling well. I don't know of his medical record, and honestly speaking, he has every right to keep his medical record to himself. But I think for sincerity of purpose, Nigerians deserve better than what we are having. He was coming out of the state box yesterday or 2 nights ago. He had to be held. He was about falling down. Is this the person who would expect to go and speak for Nigerians on behalf of Nigerians at the United Nations General Assembly? Is this the same person who would expect to enter security briefings for 8-10 hours and would not sleep for most of the day and night? I think if you have to do that, then you probably be on drugs. It doesn't make any sense. Nigeria of today and Nigeria of then are two different things. Now, this is with respect to the Muslim ticket, because obviously Muslim ticket is what northern governors are planning for Tinubu, and this is what Tinubu is also planning for himself, because he respects that there are votes coming from the north, and it must have a Muslim coloration. Now, If you do that, you refer back to Abiola. Abiola was 30 years ago. During the time of Abiola, we've not had this much calls for secession in Nigeria. We cannot be too dumb to not look at the realities of Nigeria as at today, because everybody wants out because they don't feel that they are being fair to them. There are calls for Islamization, Fulanization. People have alleged that, and at this point in time, people have been sensitive, and you still want to present that. Even at the height of military governments, the worst of the worst, the government of General Sani Abacha, he still had a Christian vice, Oladipo Dia. Then the preceding one was what's his name, General Ibrahim Babangida. Babangida had Augustus Aikomo and Ebitu Okiwe. You have to play to the sensibilities of Nigeria. Unfortunately, our polity has not gotten to the point where people don't look at sentiment and ethno-religious sentiment. We've not gotten there, and until we get there, please, let's not play that card. And now, finally, look at the calls of Northern Christians who say they are marginalized. In fact, I just heard this even on Channels TV interview with Babachir David Lawal, and he reiterated it. Northern Christians are saying they've been marginalized, and you still want to play on that as well? The whole country is a mess, and you want to bring on Tinubu. So I'll leave at this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Zach Yusuf, for President 2034. Remember
2043.
2043. Sorry, I apologize. I apologize. Now, you said something akin to Tinubu choosing the vice president, a Muslim. We don't know. I like to also be very, very clear. We don't know who is going to choose. He might actually choose Dogara, who is a Christian. But on that note, thank you very much for coming on the platform. Let me say this again. If you want to speak, I can see we have about 75 requests. If you're not following the platform, I am not able to see you. It's going to be very difficult. Please follow the platform. It will help to bring you up. After the program, you can quietly unfollow. Please, if you want to stay, fine. But if you really want to speak, please follow the platform. And secondly, somebody say we are not giving Tinubu's people chance to speak. If you're here for Tinubu, please raise your hands. I would actually bring you up. Because when we started, we have about 5 people representing Tinubu here. But I think at this point, we only have Dr. Salusi. So if anybody is here to represent Tinubu, please raise your hands. We'll try as much as we can to bring you up, and so you can be able to defend him, and we have a very balanced conversation. On that note, let me quickly go to Dr. Salusi. Doctor, you want to respond? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I wanted to, when Harry Shield came to this platform, obviously he was just shouting. He might feel very emotional as a Nigerian, but I guess he should be able to tune his voice when he's trying to make a point. I mean, I don't decide how he's going to talk. He's been on this platform in the past. When you read the language of Harry Shield, now I'm talking to him as a person, he always has a regional sentiment in him. You can even see when he was talking about the selection of candidates, there is a particular region he talks about. He cannot hide his sentiment. When he talks, he now talks about numbers. And we know where that sentiment goes to. He talks about INEC. He comes around like a saint trying to fight for Nigeria, which is allowed, it's good, the country needs help. But there's always a regional sentiment in the way he talks. And I think he should stop hiding behind that region and come out with his full chest when he wants to talk. If he wants to talk about the North, he should talk about the North with numbers so that we can give him an answer. He has insulted Tinubu and he's making some very, I don't know, in his own world that he's going to go to a UK hospital and go and retrieve his medical record. If he does that to people in Nigeria, he cannot do it wherever he is. That is, even if he thinks he knows where Tinubu's what did they call it, hospital is as he runs. He has said a lot of stuff that I'm unable to even take note of them. But please, if he wants to talk and have an intellectual discussion like the intellect he is, he should just be calm so that we can properly engage. It's not that because he's so popular on Twitter, it means he just comes
Okay.
around and
Okay.
people will listen to
Sorry.
him.
Apologies,
Talk
doctor.
with some
I'm gonna.
civility.
Okay. Doctor.
Yeah.
Hold your thought for a
He
minute.
comes to the
No,
he comes to the
doctor.
space.
No. Please,
He
no.
learn how to talk to people as well. Like, he can't just be shouting and stuff.
No.
I should talk. That's why I didn't want to respond to him, because I wanted him to be calm.
Okay, all right. You see, the thing is this, right? Dr. Dasuki, you've been on this platform for a long time, and Henry has been on this platform for a long time, right? I don't want us to, move away from the conversation of tonight. Okay, you made your point, and I apologize, but I need to interject because I don't want this conversation to lead to North against South. I don't want that to happen, right? We have discussed about Northern candidacy. We have discussed about competency against this. We talked about numbers. We talked about, there have been a lot of topics that we have discussed, but I don't want us to derail from that. And let me correct something, and I'll allow Henry to respond, because if you start having you speak, Henry speak, the other speakers would not have opportunity to speak tonight. Please, I really apologize, and on behalf of Henry as well. Henry, I apologize as well. I will give you opportunity to respond. But if I heard you clearly, he said he's going to the UK to go and retrieve Tinubu's medical record. I think if I heard him clearly, please correct me if I'm wrong. He said even if he means to go to the UK to get it. So on that note, I'm just going to allow Doctor. I don't know if you have finished speaking, so I can give Henry 2 minutes, please. I don't want us to overspread.
No, I've finished. Obviously, he was shouting, so it's difficult to catch some of the words he was saying. So if he wants to talk, he talks with a calm voice.
Okay. All right.
I do not owe anybody any calm voice. Okay.
We don't care.
Doctor,
we don't care.
No.
I do not owe you a calm voice.
Sorry, Dr. Dasuki, please do not interject. He allowed you to speak. Please, sir. I beg you. He allowed you to speak. Please, sir. I really apologize. I really beg you. Let him respond. This is why I didn't want this to be front and back. Please, Henry, go ahead.
Dr. Mindset, you need to understand that he needs to talk.
No, Dr. Dasuki, can you stop this? Please, I'm begging you. Can you stop this? Allow him to speak. Then I'll give you the opportunity to speak again. Now we are moving from Tinubu. We are going you and Henry. We have about 85 people requesting for the mic. I'm begging you.
Please, right, I'm sorry, Mindset.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Henry, please go ahead. 2 minutes, sir. Go ahead.
Mindset, number one, to Doctor. I don't owe anybody any explanation as to how I sound in discussing the fate of my own country, in discussing the destiny of my own generation and that of my unborn children and even those that are already born. I don't owe anybody that explanation. If I want to shout, I will shout. If I want to cry, I will cry. Nobody, not even Buhari, can stop me from expressing myself the way that I feel. I don't remember the Constitution giving anybody any right over me, as to in as much as I do not curse you or I do not infringe on your rights or insult you. I will express myself however I feel or however I want. I am saying, and I'm saying it again, if it takes us to go to the UK or wherever this man attends his medical thing to get his record, we will do it. Okay? If Tinubu is fit, good. If Tinubu can stand for 20 minutes without wobbling, without shaking, beautiful. And don't make this a North against South thing. I was a special advisor to the Minister of the FCT for 4 years. He was a Fulani man. Till tomorrow, he remains my boss. Yar'Adua was president. I was never close to him, but I gave him every support until his last day on earth. Go and check my TL. Go and check me on Facebook. I never one day criticized him. We are talking about the destiny of Nigeria. If you want to make it a North-South thing, by all means, bring it on. But please, nobody, I will speak it in pidgin. They never born the person well. We go shut me up. I never see. It's not about being popular on Twitter. I have never used my popular. In fact, one thing I don't do on Twitter is to take commercial engagement. I don't advertise companies. If any company you see me put up is free of charge. I have never taken 1 naira to put anybody on Twitter. And you have never seen me one day come on Twitter to say, oh, I am popular, this person's voice must not be heard. Everybody's voice must be heard. I am saying we are discussing Tinubu, and I am giving you my mindset about him. I don't owe you any kind of apology. No, I don't. This was the mistake we made that made us believe that one Gaskia was coming to turn $1 to 1 naira. Today, we know how much a dollar goes for. Today, how many families can properly eat balanced diet? Balanced diet. How many people are dying, and you guys still think this is about politics? Me, I will carry Tinubu's matter on my head. He is today the APC's presidential candidate. So yes, the battle line has been drawn. The survival of Nigeria comes first. Even if it takes my life, I don't care.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. No one is going to take your life, please. We need you. We need doctor. We need everybody. All right. To work to get that Nigeria that we are all striving to get. I'm very happy that we have clarified that this is not a North against South thing, and on this platform we try as much as we can to carry everybody along. Can we please go back to Tinubu's candidacy? Akim, sorry, Zainab, please. Okay, Zainab, can I please allow Akim to speak? Then I'll come back to you if that's okay, please. Akim, please go ahead. 3 minutes because of time. Akim, are you there?
You reduced my time. It's not fair.
No. Okay.
No
Take a strike. Okay, go ahead, sir. Please. I really apologize.
That's my mindset. Thank you very much for the platform. I've listened to every conversation. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for having me on the show. It's where we are. We can't keep reiterating the fact that it's been a mess, total mess, completely. We know that. We agree with that. I appreciate some observation, and in all the spaces that I've spoken, I talked about the need to have a fantastically sound president, because that task is humongous. It's a very huge task. It's a task that requires a lot of mental stamina. No game, but there's no doubt about that. There's no mincing words with that. It's of paramount importance to, because of the burden, etc., the requirements pretty much of a president of a nation. Yeah, there's a lot of stamina that is required. Yeah, I give it to Tinubu. He's done a lot, to be honest. Putting the parties together with all the politicking. He's brilliant. He's a fantastically brilliant politician. No doubt about that. But at this time, I because of course, obvious reasons, I believe we should have gone for a much younger person. People say age ain't nothing but a number, but there's nobody can argue that with me. That the things you could do when you were in your 20s, you can't do when you are currently in your 45. Yeah, there's a time I had the opportunity to climb a swing, like as a kid, the climbing swing and all of that. We're taking those things for granted. But when in my 35 to 38 thereabout, I went on another one, and I just prayed that God, please save me. When I was running to 40, please, if I get down from it, I will not even bother to ever go on it any longer, because I didn't understand how I was feeling. I was going to pass out. Yeah. So there's obviously no way we can cheat nature. When you're going to sleep, when that sleep comes, you definitely don't know where you are. So that's just part of the things we're talking about. I would have expected, or I would have loved the chance. Like, I would have even be very, very happy if he had supported a much younger son. He's very good at choosing the right people for the right positions. He's good at that. I expect that, let's say, for instance, Pierre became president. When we're having some issues, he should, fly down to just have a chat with him, clear the squabbles with phone calls. That's what I expect, like the father that we expect, but PDP did the business as usual, money politics. They took, they did that. It's not a very good way of choosing leaders. There are obviously brilliant people who could have done the better, who could do. I know that might definitely do a better job with Nigeria. Is
Okay.
it 75? Or, I'm still speaking. Okay, I still have five. You gave me 5 minutes, mate. Or do you want me to? So, in my opinion, I believe there are a few things that we need to talk about. Yeah. They did business as usual. I expected APC to change the status quo, but they didn't. Of course, probably the same thing. Definitely the same thing played out. Now, there are some fundamental issues that we need to deal with. I said it on the space like about a week or 2 weeks ago about the INEC issue that millions of Nigerians must not be disenfranchised. People are looking towards, everyone is now aware. Everyone wants to come out completely to really come out en masse to decide who actually becomes their leader. So it's a good one on Henry's side. Henry, well done for that. Match people, and then let's just make sure that all Nigerians are not disenfranchised. And two, lastly, I'll yield the mic in just less than 1 minute. The foundation, there's some foundational issues that we must resolve. We don't have 1 hour, 2 hours. We need to hit the ground running with those issues. The last issue, our constitution is counterproductive. I've said it. I've been agitating for this for over 6, 7 to 8 years now.
Okay.
That constitution is
Okay.
counterproductive, is a foundational issue. We should be pushing as much as we are pushing for INEC to ensure that millions of
Akim.
We should push for a new constitution as well. I'll yield the mic. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Akin. I like a situation whereby people we stick. I don't want us to derail from this conversation. All right, if we want to talk about the constitution, let's talk about the constitution. We're talking about Tinubu's candidacy, and I would like the next speaker, please, I'm begging you, to stick on that topic. On that note, let me please invite Ahmed. Is it Ahmed? Ahmed, please, you have the mic. Ahmed. Okay. See, Akande, Ahmed, can you hear me? The man with the Nigerian flag. All right. Okay, Ahmed, I don't think you can hear me. Roy, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mindset. Everyone is very passionate, hopefully, for the progress of the nation and to ensure that we select the right leaders. As soon as somebody puts themselves forward to lead Nigeria of, if we're correct on our population, 200 million, then every Nigerian has a right to test them for their health, for their wealth, for their education, for their ideology. That is the essence of public service. It's a service. You become a servant. We must start changing the narrative, start shifting the paradigm. It cannot be politicians deciding for us, just the same way delegates are choosing. Right, that is all done and dusted. But now they've put themselves on the plate and we're going to eat dinner. I'm ready to eat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Ahmed, are you there? Can you hear me? Akande?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening.
Oh, okay. Good evening. Pleased to have you on the platform. So we're discussing about Tinubu's candidacy. Please, we want you to stick to the topic. So you have 5 minutes, please. What is your take on it?
Yeah. Looking at what we have now in the country, now the truth of the matter is there are just two major political parties, the APC and the PDP. And as it is now, we have Tinubu and we have Atiku. Now, people keep talking about age. Now, one of them is 75, and the other one just turned 70 recently. And I see most people, attacking the person of Tinubu, talking about the health issues, but at the same time, no one is able to bring out fact on his medical records. You're talking about the person not able to stand for 20 minutes. I watched the convention. He was there. He made his speech, and he stood there for more than 20 minutes. You're coming down the staircase. Anyone can, hit something and then, trip off. It's a normal thing. But looking at Tinubu's antecedents, And by the way, I'm a member of the APC too. He has done very good. And if we're going to compare, you have to look at what has he done. He was governor for 8 years. Then you now compare what did he do when he was governor for 8 years. And if you look at the other candidate, Atiku, he was also vice president for 8 years. You can compare this. You can also look at the networks they have. And politically, if you're talking of someone says, it is my turn to run. Now, as a member of a political party, and you're talking to your delegates, members of the party, the first thing members of parties ask is, what have you done for the party? And this man was trying to explain what he has done for APC and how he has contributed to the success and how they came to power. All these are what Tinubu has been trying to explain by saying, it is my turn. I've contributed so much for the party. I think I deserve the ticket. And I think I'm the best person to, clinch the ticket. So that is my thought on Tinubu candidacy. And I feel Tinubu is way better than Atiku as far as, running the affairs of this country is concerned. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I love people that keep the time. Hopefully, we'll have you again on this program. Now, you talked about he stood up for 10 minutes. Please correct me, sir, if I'm wrong. For 10 minutes. Is it 10 minutes you said? I don't want to misquote you. Is it, sorry, actually, it said 20 minutes, right? Now, we all saw that video where his hands were shaking. Like I said, I don't know what's wrong with him, So, but to be a Nigerian president, one need to, it takes a lot. And quite a number of people, Nigerians, have been saying that they do not want to experience what happened with Buhari. He's traveling outside Nigeria to look for his medical, look after himself, which is not a problem for some people, but people do not want that. So how do you convince Nigerians that Tinubu's health is not going to be an issue? And another question I have for you, since you are a member of the APC, is, people talk about what he's done in Lagos, and then again, there is this case that we don't know if it's going to go away, with Alpha Beta, right? That he embezzled money. How do you convince Nigeria that this is not happen? Ahmed, please go ahead. You have 2 minutes.
Well, for the shaky hands, well, like I said, Tinubu, he's 70 years old. He turned 70 recently. And then you can't say, some people have been talking about Parkinson. I'm not a medical, doctor. I wouldn't know. But I know of people with tremor. Because those are the only things that people are talking about. His hands are being shaky. But he was able to hold the flag and other things. And then when he talks, I believe everyone is able to hear what he's saying, and he's coherent. So I don't see anything, as long as you can communicate. You see, leadership is, most major part of leadership is communication. And once he's able to communicate, I don't see a problem was shaking hands or whatever. There is no medical records to show that Tinubu is sick, whatever. You saw him, he walked very well, and he spoke very well. And then on the Alpha Beta, on the embezzlement, well, there is no court that has, nobody has sued Tinubu to court or to, any investigation. I don't know of any investigation that has taken place in, investigating these allegations. So, let's be able to talk with, facts. And then I would like to also advise the youth. Most people, we come on, we talk. But how many of us are actually participating in the process? Majority of us are not even participating in the process. And then we expect to take power from these people. You can't take power from the outside. You need to come inside and participate. So that will be my take for now.
Okay. Thank you very much. The question I ask you about Alpha Beta is, as we are speaking, people are bringing questions, right? And I'm reading it out. And since you're here to represent Tinubu, so obviously these are the questions that Nigerians want to ask. Okay, but thank you very much for your submission. Henry wants to respond to that, but before that, let me bring in Zena. Then Henry, I'll come back to you, and Ima, I can see you as well. And Fumi, I know you're requested you have accepted my request. Zena, please, in 1 minute. I don't know if it's a contribution or it's a question. Please go ahead.
Thanks. It's probably more advice. I guess my advice to the Tinubu supporters here is the line that Tinubu is fine is not gonna fly with anybody. I'm a physician. He clearly is not completely fine. So they can maybe go back to their drawing boards and try to think of a narrative that would fly. I agree, age is not the only thing, but I think people are coming out of fear for what has happened in the last 8 years in terms of Buhari, and we don't want Buhari 2.0, please. My advice to other people who are anti-Buhari would be, look, whether we like it or not, anti-Tinubu. Tinubu is the candidate for APC. They're going to be the two contenders, Tinubu or Atiku. My way of getting things is shaping their policies. How can we infiltrate and shape their policies? Because these are going to be our leaders. We can cry from here to tomorrow, but it's going to be one of these two. How can we infiltrate their, be technocrats, influence their policies? I did that in the past during the time of Kwankwaso. I was in the back. I wasn't paid a single naira, but I influenced his policies. And Kwankwaso was one of the best performing governors of Kano. So this is what I intend to do with whoever comes into power, is to get in and influence their policies, because that's the only way we can change Nigeria. So that's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me try and say this. We always make this election about Atiku and Tinubu. We have Mr. Peter Obi and we have Kwankwaso. So anything is possible in politics. So I like to say on behalf of this platform, we have more than two candidates, right? There is Tinubu. Sorry, somebody's mic is on. Okay. There is Tinubu. Sorry, there is Tinubu. There is Atiku. There's Peter Obi. There's Kwankwaso, and there is other people from another guy. Another man from Abga, and we have another person representing another party. I forgot the ADC, right? Maybe Kachuku. So anything is possible. So let's all try and carry all these guys along, even if we believe that they're not going to win. So let's not make it about Atiku and Tinubu. But thank you very much, Zena, for your contribution. Let me, Henry.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay.
I need to respond.
Okay, in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes.
Okay.
If not, I'll come and take your generator.
My question: what is this now? Why are you threatening me with this generator? If anything happens to my generator, mindset, I will find you. I'm serious. I will locate you if anything happens to my generator. Please just allow me to enjoy my generator in peace. That is what Buhari and the APC has brought us to. So let's enjoy it in peace. Imagine living in Abuja and then your lifestyle, your life, your light culture is like that of those in the villages. You are waiting for them to bring. I said I went to iron my singlet by 2 a.m. because I don't allow anybody touch my underwears. 2 a.m. in the midnight because I knew the light was going to go. Anyway, back to the Tinubu issue. Okay, the truth of the matter is, anyhow you want to romance and paint and romanticize or cream the fact, the truth is always staring people in the face when this man comes on national TV. This man said INEC PVC expires. A lie. He came back later to debunk it. This man said that whatever, is it Pantami or whoever, switched off the telephone line to the national grid. God. He came back later to debunk it. This man said we will employ 50 million youth into the army. You give them cassava in the morning, agbado in the evening. The brain, I don't know what I don't know how to say it without sounding like I am cursing an elderly person. Listen, if Tinubu is fit at 100 years old, I will not talk about him. If Tinubu is fit at 120 years and he wants to be president, it is not my problem. But to hand over the destiny of this nation to a man who has openly, publicly shown you that he does not have a full grasp of his own mental faculty. My brother, my sisters, it will not happen. You want to gaslight people, bring it on. You want to blackmail people, bring it on. We have had Buhari who spent, I will calculate it tomorrow and post it. How many days this man has spent in the UK treating himself? We need a president. Nigeria's economy is dead. It's not dying, it is dead. We need a president who will wake up on the first day of his inauguration, inaugurate his ESCOs. The Federal Executive Council is on. This man comes in, takes his oath of office, and goes to work. We don't need somebody that they will be helping to hold his hand, to hold a freaking flag. Flag that a 2-year-old, 3-year-old baby can hold. You are helping. You saw Adamu Abdullah, the national chairman of APC, helping Tinubu to hold a flag. We saw Tinubu spending 16 seconds to flip a page. This man is not well. And anybody here that is close to him, please ask Tinubu to sue me. Take me to court. Tinubu is not medically fit for the office he is running for. And whatever, see, the one we did with Jonathan, and we were just being gentle. The man is anything people do, he will take it. He will not. Oga, we will counter you people this time around. You bring it one, we will give you 100. Okay? So I am saying it again. We have seen on national TV. This is not insinuation. This is not politics. This is real fact issue. We have seen Tinubu on national TV. He was falling down in one instance. Mindset, I will post all these videos. Come to my timeline tomorrow, you will see them. Tinubu was falling down, they were holding him. We have seen Tinubu where he was talking and his hands were shaking. We have seen Tinubu make disastrous mistakes speaking in public. Okay? So, I'm sorry, I think I have pepper. If you want a man like this to be the president of Nigeria, please show us. Don't come and tell me, see, thank God some of us have outgrown nonsense gaslighting on Twitter. Show us that Tinubu is fit. Once you can show us that Tinubu is fit, we will now move into discussing sector by sector. What are his plans for security? What is Atiku's plan? What is Peter Obi's plan? What is Dumebi's plan? Do you understand? But for now, let us discuss the mental fitness first. A man that is not mentally fit cannot take us from 610 naira a dollar back to 500 or 300 or 210 naira that they met it. We need a man that is mentally alert, that understands. See, nobody, all these people crowding Tinubu, surrounding him, and once he chop, will go become the Kaba. We will not allow you. Aso Rock is not a mental home. It is not a hospital.
All right. Okay, Harry, see, this is one of the reasons I always ask you to come early, and, then we can have, because Tosun was here, who was defending Tinubu as well. Then we only left with Dr. Dasuki and Ahmed, who will be able to respond to this. So it's actually 2 minutes past 11. We should be rounding up, but I think we have about 95 requests. Let me say this again. If you're not following the handle, I might not be able to see you. Please follow the handle. After the conversation, after the topic, you might, unfollow. That's not a problem. At least we can give other people the opportunity to speak. Thank you very much, Henry. There are so many questions coming for you. And Ahmed, there are questions for you as well. On that, Mo, please, I can see you raising your hand, but please let me allow Fumi. Fumi have not spoken tonight, right? So please, good evening, Fumi. Pleased to have you.
Good evening, Mindset. It's so good to be here. And I apologize, I was at work, so that's why I couldn't speak earlier on.
All right, so you have 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So here's the thing. I'm with Zainab, and I've been listening to the conversation since, and I find it very interesting that having the conversations backward. We could have had this conversation when he was actually contesting for the ticket to be the party flag bearer. We are past that already. He's now the APC flag bearer. Can we sit down I hear all the men go back and forth. And I'm like, we can talk and talk and talk and talk. This is Twitter. What happens with politics that I've seen now, and I think will continue to happen if we don't sensitize the grassroots, is that the grassroots will keep messing up. But then we, the elite, we, the intellects, will come and sit on Twitter and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. At this stage, like I said again, I will stand with Zainab. We need to sit down. It is time for us to actually stop all this bickering. Sit down, get articles, what's it called? His manifesto. Get Bola Tinubu's manifesto. Begin to read and understand what these guys are bringing to the table. Else, we'll be back to the same drawing board all over again. We can't. It happened. Like I was like Oshibanjo. I was honestly hoping Oshibanjo will come up. I was believing, but I don't know about Atiku. I cannot stand the thought of an Afulani man in Aso Rock. So that's even done. So now what do we have left? So we have Peter Obi, we have what's his name? But we have, I don't know about the what's it called? The Kachuku guy. I think that's just a joke anyway. But what are these guys bringing to the table? I think that should be our conversation. So if Tinubu eventually becomes president of Nigeria, are we not going to be scrambling at that point to attack him on his policies, to attack him on what plans he has for the future, to attack him on how he's going to bring Nigeria back to, bring it back to its senses? It is time for us to actually sit down, educate ourselves. We talk too much. We need to get down to basics because this stuff is happening. There's so much going on in Nigeria. Everything is inflated. Insecurity left, right, and center. Nobody knows who's going to be tomorrow. Like, there's no light. There's no power. Basic amenities, healthcare system, nothing is working. Nigeria is just like a can. It's like skeleton walking. No blood, no skin, no flesh. What are these guys bringing to the table? So now, let's look at Tinubu's scenario. Let's say Let's say Tinubu eventually goes ahead and becomes the president. What are we going to do if it actually happens? Because I was one of the people that was championing he's going to chop breakfast. But I'm here now with my full chest, like, okay, what if? Can we just stop and actually look at the fact that what if he becomes president? What is it? What are we going to do? That's what we need to do as intellect. Let's get out. Let's figure out where we need to infiltrate. I heard somebody said, join them. Let's see where we can infiltrate and get right policies passed. A lot is going on in Nigeria. We need to speak for the people, the ones that are, if you're highly connected and you know people, it is time for you to turn around and look at the suffering of the masses. Forget about the ego and the English and the spon. Now it's time for us to look at what the people are actually going through. So what can Tinubu's candidacy, what can his presidency, what will he do? And how can we infiltrate it to make sure that it actually suits the country? It suits the masses, the mothers and the fathers that are crying, that died in Owo. Owo is still so fresh. We have South Kaduna. We have chaos all over the country. That is my submission. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Shumi. You said something. You said we should have had this conversation before, and I think we've spoken about last week. We talked about the APC dilemma, and we talked about who their candidate might be. Unfortunately, I think you were not on the platform that day, so we talked about this whole thing and the scenario that might play out. But like every other person saw this, Tinubu's becoming the candidate it's a surprise to quite a number of people. That is what it is. So we've spoken about it, and the reason we are talking about is he's becoming the candidate. We want to find out, what is it that he's bringing to the nobody have heard about Kachuku before. We only heard about Moralu and Chukwu Kamoye, but from nowhere, Kachuku have taken it. So no, when it comes to 2023, anything is possible. And another point you made is we are not afford to have a Fulani man. For me, I don't want to make it a tribe thing, but if that's your opinion, that's fine. But if Nigerians still believe that Tinubu is their candidate, he's a Yoruba man, that is who they're going to vote. If Nigerians believe that Atiku, who is the Fulani man, is the right candidate, they have the right to go with. If they believe that Peter Obi, who's an Igbo man, is the right candidate, that is the thing. So I think at this stage, we should be asking ourselves, who is the best to carry us along, irrespective of their religion and their tribe? we need to ask us those questions. And hence we are discussing Tinubu today. Hopefully next week, if everyone agrees, we'll talk about Atiku, and the upper week, we'll talk about Obi. But thank you very much for me. It's been a long time. We have missed you on the platform, about 3 months. So if Henry allows us, we're going to find you. But thank you for coming on the platform. Victor, you're raising your hand. Please, Victor, go ahead. 3 minutes. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I usually come to spaces like this and just listen, but just decided to say something this evening. I think there is a problem with our understanding of politics. Some of us are too emotional about politics, which completely negates the whole idea that politics is the alternative of war, or as they say in war by other means. I think our emotions is allowing us to lose focus on the important things that we should be focused on. You know, I just want to ask Mr. Henry, even though I know that he's an opposition member, he's a member of the PDP, I want to ask him a question. If his friend owns a car and he says that they are going somewhere, and his friend says, I am going to drive my car. If you want, follow me. If you don't want, go and take Danfo. Can he force his friend off his car and insist that, no, I must drive your car to where we are going because I want to be safe? Because it's important for us.
Mindset.
So sorry, Henry. Let him finish. Then I'll allow you to respond, please. If that's okay with you,
I
sir.
thought it was done.
Because it is important for us to understand that the primary basic structure or vehicle for any democracy is a party. And Tinubu has proven to us since 1992 that he built his own parties. And he has always said that I allow people to run, but he makes it a point to say that this is my party. And even when the president himself was trying to mess him up a week to the election, he came out boldly and said, this is my party. And I'm going to crush this party if I don't get this ticket. And everybody has to form in line because they understand that this is this man's party. Can you at least form your own party before you start shouting about somebody else's party? Or can you own somebody else's property while he's still alive? That party is Tinubu party, either you like it or not. If you don't like it, go to your own party and vote for your own candidate. That's number one rule of democracy.
Okay,
Somebody
sorry,
owns
sorry,
the party.
Victor. I really apologize. I have to interject. I want us to stick to this topic, right? If you remember, hold on, Victor. No, please don't do this. Don't do this, sir. Please, just allow me to speak, right? One of the things we try to do on this platform is to stick to the topic, and I don't want us to derail. We've been there before, and we try as much as we can to control the room again. Now, if you want to speak one-on-one with Henry, we can arrange that. Okay. The other speaker, Hakeem, were derailing against the rule of the room of the platform, and we try to correct it. So now I was hoping that you, I don't know if you're a member of the APC, would tell us what you think of Tinubu's candidacy. But
no,
it's 1 minute. No, you can't do this. You can't do this. Can you please hold on? I don't know if you've joined us before. There's a way we run our spaces here. This is not my space. This space belongs to everybody here. And what we do is that we respect everyone and we do not interject. The only person that can interject is the host. All right. So I'm trying to correct you because we do not have enough time. Okay. Before you and Henry will start going front and back. I would have loved you love it if you use a minute to tell us what you think about Tinubu's candidates. In 1 minute, please, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, what I think about Tinubu candidacy is very simple. Tinubu has shown that he believes in democracy. This is a man that has stayed for 20 years building a platform in opposition. Even when people have been offering him money and people have been inducing him, he is the only major politician today with Buhari who has never crossed to a ruling party. And he has sustained his structure. He is the only person who has taken his state as a governor to a state where the state does not need federal allocation. No other governor has achieved that in Nigeria up to date. That indices alone is enough to say this man knows what governance is all about. Because if federal allocation stops in Nigeria today, every other state will collapse except Lagos. And he's the one that achieved that one thing. And that is how to measure a CEO of a company. Did you make profit for your enterprise? He's the only governor who has made profit for his state till date. Forget about Alpha Beta. What is Alpha Beta? Alpha Beta is saying, okay, somebody came to you and say, I can make your state rich. And he says, whatever you reap from my state, take 10%. There's nothing wrong with that. If your salary is 600 naira and somebody says, look, I can give you a skill that can make your salary 6 million. And he says, look, if you make my salary 6 million, take 600,000. What's wrong with that? So let's take emotions out and be intellectuals that we are and be strategic.
Okay. All right.
Thank you that this man has achieved what no politician in Nigeria in 24 years of democracy has achieved. He has made his state that he rules financially independent of the federal government. No other government has achieved that.
Okay. Thank you, Victor. Sorry, Henry, hold your thought for 1 minute. Thank you, Victor. You see, all these points we are making were very valid points, and you talked about Alpha Beta. You say we should forget about Alpha Beta. Because of time, I would have asked you more questions on Alpha Beta.
Ask me. I will answer.
No. I please, sir, please. I really beg you. Please, I beg you. I don't want to remove you from this space. We don't do that here. Okay, on that note, thank you very much, Victor, for joining the space. We really appreciate your contribution. We're rounding up in the next 15 minutes. We cannot extend this time. And we have about 217 people requesting for the mic. And please, the next speaker should stick to the topic. If we want to have a one-on-one, what we can do, Victor, since you're on the platform, what I would do is I would arrange, if the house agrees, then you and Henry will go one-on-one. And if you guys accept to that, I will arrange that. I will set up the space for you guys, and both of you can go one-on-one. Are you willing to do that, Victor?
No, I am very willing to discuss this thing, not emotionally, but strategically and intellectually.
Now, my question to you is, because you spoke about Henry, and what my question to you is, if we arrange for you and Henry to have a debate, are you willing to abide to that?
If it is not an emotional debate, yes. If it's going to be based on facts and figures.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Please to have the platform. Henry, what?
No,
yes.
Please, I need to respond to.
1 minute. I know you will respond. I know you will. I will.
Because I'm entering a meeting now.
Wait, hold on, Victor. Hold on, Henry. That meeting should hold on. Wait. Hold on. I know you will respond to him, right? I just want other speakers to know that we are rounding up in the next 13 minutes. So Henry, you have 2 minutes to respond, but it's not going to be something that he will respond back, please. I know he talked about you being a PDP member.
I read about, first of all, Mr. Victor, I publicly resigned my membership of the PDP, and I regret not resigning earlier. Okay, I will be 42 years old this year. I'm not a kid, and one of the worst regrets I've had in my life is that I stuck with the PDP because I thought the party had sense. Okay? Believe me sincerely, if I was the National Public Secretary of the PDP, Buhari will not come out of Aso Rock in his life until he resigns until he leaves Aso Rock. Okay? Now, back to the issue. I am not a member of the PDP. I have taken on PDP. I will send you videos of me attacking PDP members. In fact, if you go to my TL, just type Henry Shield /PDP, you will see enough materials there to prove to you that I'm not a member of the PDP. I am interested in Nigeria. Okay? You are saying that one man made the state to become self-sufficient of the federal allocation and blah, 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 blah. Can you please, you, Mr. Victor, I dare you, show us the budget of Lagos since Tinubu left office. I dare you. I challenge you. Show us. Make it public. I dare you to try it. The MD of Alpha Beta is following me on Twitter. I have received more than enough documents. The only reason I did not petition EFCC against Tinubu is because I know they will not do anything. My brother, I use God to beg you. Don't even wake me up this morning. Don't wake me up this midnight. Okay? If you say Tinubu has done this and done that, I said I am daring you. I dare Sanwo-Olu. I dare Tinubu. Make public the budget of Lagos State, so that I can show you the criminals that are calling themselves leaders in that state.
Okay.
See, I will end it at this, but I am listen, Marshall, please let me finish. I beg you. I beg. I beg.
No.
I beg.
Okay,
I
1 minute, Henry.
Do you know what is going
One
on
minute.
now? There is
1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute.
I have to
Okay, go. Okay, finish. Round up in 1 minute,
now,
please.
Mr. What's his name? Mr. Victor. Me, I don't take up a war that I cannot fight. Me, I am not asking you not to support Tinubu. I am not asking you not to defend Tinubu. It is your right. It is your democratic right. Do whatever you want. But you see, gaslighting people and telling people that they should forget about a wobbling hand, a shaky leg, a forgetful mind, a mind that thinks 50 million youth should join the army.
Can you please just vote for another party? Vote for another party.
No, my friend.
See, the thing is this, right? I purposely didn't want this to happen, but then again, we are here now. Okay, Henry, so you round up in 1 minute, and Mr. Victor, please, I'm going to beg you for the last time. If you want to respond to Henry, I will give you time. Do not interject. That's not fair. Please, sir. Henry, please round up in 1 minute, then we can move on.
Mr. Victor, you and all other members of Tinubu's group, you cannot tell me not to challenge Tinubu, not to criticize Tinubu. Tinubu is the candidate of the ruling party. Even if he was a candidate of ABGA, I will criticize him because he's a public officer. Okay, so that myopic mindset that you are not a member of our party. No, he wants to rule Nigeria. He does not want to rule APC. I am a Nigerian. I pay taxes. Like I run 5 different companies that pay taxes in. I don't want to mention the amount. So I have every right to criticize anybody that wants to run for public office. Okay? Now, back to the issue. You want us to have a debate. Me and Rishi Zoroahu, I am challenging you. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, mindset, organize a debate between me and this Mr. Victor. Nobody else is invited. They can listen in, but nobody speaks. Let me and Mr. Mindset and Mr. Victor have a one-on-one. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Victor, are you there? Is Victor there? Victor? All right. Can anybody see him on the platform? All right. So you heard what Henry said.
Democracy. It's called freedom of choice. Every 100 million of the people who can vote can choose who they want. Okay? So who a group of people have chosen to lead them is not my business if I have already chosen another person. You see, politics is like the Catholic Church. You don't leave your church because somebody say it's bad. You go inside your church and you fight to change it. That's why Americans choose whether they want to be Republicans or Democrats from as early as age 5, 6. And they live through it to become either Democrat or Republican. And the important thing in democracy is parties, because parties are the vehicle through which people get power. And politics is about popularity. Every party puts their most popular candidate forward. Somebody has been on a wheelchair and has won American presidency before.
All right.
That's just my own point. My point is this. Let's argue, let's convince people, not on the basis of our emotion, but on the basis of our points, our strategy, our advantage. You understand? Because politics cannot be achieved by blackmail.
Okay, Mr. Victor.
Let me ask Mr. Henry one final question. Does he even know why people vote in Nigeria?
All right, Mr. Victor. So I think at this stage, I think I'm going to butt in right now, because what I expected, because this platform